Pramod Madhav joins us now. He's been doing a stellar job trying to capture the unfolding situation in Sri Lanka. Pramod, what happens next? The president's gone. He didn't quite resign. At least there is no resignation in the public domain. How is the process of trying to get opposition parties together to form a coalition government coming along?
Well, Rahul, not just the president, but also the Prime Minister doesn't look like he has resigned, and that is the reason the whole chaos broke out today right in front of the Prime Minister's office. In fact, we are currently inside the Prime Minister's office, and this is the situation over here. Armed guards at every other location, making sure that no untoward incident occurs, but at the same time, public has also been provided access, and here is the place I'm going to show you is the actual Prime Minister's office, and there on top of the wall you could see the pictures of the all Prime Ministers, starting with Ranil Wickremesinghe over there, and then also on the other corner, you will see Mahinda Rajapaksa's picture, Ranil Wickremesinghe's picture, again Mahinda Rajapaksa's picture. So this is continuously happening, and this is one of the places where the discussions by the Prime Minister was held. This apparently is the Prime Minister's office, and now after 4 hours of struggle in the morning, access has been provided to the people. Yet the confusion, just like you asked, is that even now we are getting information that the heads of the tri-forces have also asked Ranil Wickremesinghe to resign, but apparently there is no information from the acting president's office. He became acting president today morning, and for one reason alone, the public have still occupied this particular place. They are over here, and they earlier also, when we spoke to them, they said that they are not going to leave this place until Ranil Wickremesinghe resigns. On his hand, he is trying to give an explanation that he is trying to fight fascist forces. That's the term he used, and that's the reason he says that until an all-party government is formed, he will not resign. Public are not ready to accept it, because here they are very clearly stating that unless and until Ranil Wickremesinghe and Gotabaya resign, their country will not have a solution. So that way, it is a stale movement here. But for now, the public and the protesters here claim that until these two resign, they will not leave this place, Rahul.
Thanks, Pramod. We'll come back to you for more later. The defining image of the Sri Lankan crisis has been the siege of government buildings and official residences. Pramod was in fact reporting from one of them. Today it was the Sri Lankan Prime Minister's office that was at the center of the storm.
Hours after Ranil Wickremesinghe was appointed interim president of Sri Lanka, angry citizens stormed the Prime Minister's office in Colombo. It started with them waving flags at the foyer of the building.
The Prime Minister, who was still the Prime Minister till morning, Ranil Wickremesinghe, was then made the acting president, and this did not go well with the public, who immediately decided to storm into the Prime Minister's office. Not just that, there were reports that some of the protesters were attacked by other security forces here as well. That escalated the situation. On one side, army only deployed tear gases and nothing much, but that also turned into a chaotic issue. Protesters were actually well prepared for this. They brought in roadside cones, they brought in water bottles, and row after row, no matter how many times they had to face the tear gases here, they did not budge, they entered.
Within minutes, thousands of protesters were inside the Sri Lankan Prime Minister's office.
Protesters are occupying the Prime Minister's office. This amidst armed guards, the heavily armed guards are also here for protection and to make sure nothing untoward occurs. But this is a lawn of the President's office, which is completely filled with public and protesters from Dalface who came here after several rounds, even after several rounds of tear gas were flashed. Hit on them. They did not budge. They did keep coming again and again. After nearly 4 hours of struggle, they finally took over the Prime Minister's office as well.
With the Sri Lankan forces moving, the siege of the Sri Lankan PM office continued, but peacefully. Taking over government symbols of power has been a defining image of this new wave of protest in Sri Lanka. On Saturday, furious protesters set the Prime Minister's private residence on fire. The same day, they had stormed into the presidential palace, dipping in the pool, slam dunking in the presidential suit, and even posing on the president's seat. With Pramod Madhav in Colombo, Bureau Report, India Today.